What is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to my channel if you're returning here, and if you're just finding me, hello, my name's Anissa. If you stumbled onto this channel, it's probably because you were searching something for bodybuilding, which is what I have fallen in love with, and wanted to just start to share my journey with you all and all the tips and tricks. So today we're going to be talking about choosing your competition suit, because honestly I had a whole learning experience, so I have to share this with you all so you can step on stage confidently. So if that sounds like your type of video, hit the like button and then let's get into it. I am a wellness competitor, so really what I'm speaking on here will apply mostly to wellness and bikini. And of course, some of it will cross over into things like just figure, women's bodybuilding, etc. But really, it'll be focused on your wellness division. I got all my notes here for you because I did not want to skip out on any details. And I have my suit to show, which is from Ravish Sands. I'm so happy this is my very first suit ever. Well, technically second, because the first one I ordered was a doozy for me because of the tips I'm going to share with you all today, so you don't make the same costly mistake. First and foremost, suit color, because that is such a big part of your suit. This is Nala, who wanted to join in for this part of the chat. Hi, Nala. The way I went about this, which I think is just easy to do for anyone, is looking at competitors of a similar complexion to me and how that suit looked for them on stage. Now, stage lights and photographs, there's a little discrepancy, but you can kind of tell when things are and aren't flattering. The other route you can do is just select your suit company you want to go with and order swatches of their fabrics from them. That way you can see it, and you can also order like rhinestone samples usually too. Safe colors you can always go with red, blues, and greens. You'll see it time and time again, and even some like shades of purple as well. I think this has been a fun season to look at the suits that the pros are wearing, like Rayanne Fogal. She did pink, which I thought was so pretty. I want a pink suit. I've seen some purples, and like if I could swing it to order a purple suit right now, budget wise, for my next show, I will. But I ended up going with red because it was just like one of those classic colors. It definitely looks flattering on my skin tone, even with the very strong tan on. And that's another thing you want to keep in mind. Like, think of yourself being like tan, but like 2 shades even darker than tan. And yes, even for my melanated friends, we get tanned too. After your suit color is always the crystals. I personally was so excited to get such a sparkly bikini. I love sparkles, I'm that girl. When it comes to your stone color, you can go classic, which will always work, and I will recommend this wholeheartedly. Same color as your suit fabric pretty much. So as you see, red fabric, it has a little holographic, so it has some shine underneath. The crystals on top just give it that nice sparkle. These are truly red crystals. There's no AB or clear crystal to this at all, and it looks really good on stage. The other thing you can do, you can add gradients and everything, but keep in mind with crystals, when you start doing the gradients and all that and extra, that's gonna drive up your suit costs tremendously. And even when you do like super heavy crystals, like my top is a heavy crystal and my bottom has crystals and some where fabric shows through. But moral of the story, more crystals, more money. Now this is an example of a gradient one, and it's a subtle gradient, which I truly like subtle gradients. Scatter, so a scatter could be like, you know, where you have just different colored crystals throughout. I think those are really pretty if you want that extra wow factor. You really want to invest in your suit, but when in doubt, same stone color as your suit fabric is just chef's kiss, a win. The other thing about crystals, and I'm just going to say this now, to each his own, your taste, express yourself. But sometimes too many crystals, different sizes, all that can ultimately, to me, look very distracting on stage. And you don't want to go too far into that pageant look, right? WBFF, I'm pretty sure that's what that federation is called. They do more of the extravagant. Go for it. But when it comes to NPC and OCB, which I can be in both of those, you're gonna stick to kind of that classic where pageantry meets bodybuilding and they like hang out together. So yes, you wanna look ultra fabulous, but you don't want to be distracting on stage, if that makes sense. There are girls out there doing it too, and there are girls out there who do a lot with their suits, but when you're starting out, it's a lot of investments up front, and just, you want to look classic. So that's my tip. The other part of your suit that your suit maker will have you choose are connectors. So you're gonna have your top connectors, you'll have a center connector in the middle, and then even sometimes you'll have your side or like a full back connector. Either way, like you'll have either a tie back or you can do a strand that just like latches in. You can even opt for just the material with a little metal connectors for a very exact fit, and you don't have to worry about like tying anything. When it comes to your connectors, again, I want to drive elegance. Just think elegant. Really, truly, like double strand ones, single strand ones are perfect. You also want to make sure the metals match your jewelry. So don't go like yellow connectors and then silver jewelry. That's a lot happening, and vice versa. Your center connector right here in between, you can have a little fun with, like this one I did like a little cushion princess cut type thing. I'm pretty sure that's what that's called. But ultimately on my stage shoot, my stage suit that I went with was just a single strand, which I just thought was super flattering and easy and simple. The other thing you'll see with connectors are dangles and dips and all that. I would again personally avoid it because it could be distracting and hiding the lines of your physique. I would opt for like a single strand, a double strand. A triple to me can look a little bit more like boom in your face, and it may throw off your physique. So I'm not opposed to it, but you just want to be mindful where it could hit. Now these are my suit bottoms here, and on the back of it I have this little like latch in, click in connector on both sides. This will make getting into your suit a whole lot easier, especially in wellness, because we're more developed on the bottom. You don't have to try to stretch and pull a suit on. You can simply like snap in bikini bite, which is the fat, like the glue that you can glue it to your skin. Yes, you can glue your suit to your skin to stay in place and be on the go. Some sites like Ravish Sands, where I have mine from, they offer on both sides, or you could do one side. Either is a lifesaver, I promise you. I would just go for a double, that's just me. But even if you get one side that you can click into, that is great. The other top connector style you can see from some suit makers, like this one's from Angel Competition Bikinis, is this adjusting one, so you don't have to tie there. These things are always extra, but personally speaking, the tie back was really sturdy on me on stage. The one thing I would say invest in is the clip-in bottom, so you don't have to like pull your suit on. So you can save a little coin there too. So you're gonna see wellness competitors wearing like 3 different top styles, no matter the federation. So when I say federation, I mean like OCB, NPC, etc. You're gonna see triangle tops, which that's what I went with. I'm gonna tell you why. You'll see molded cup, and you'll see like the bra top. I'm gonna touch on the bra top really quick. They are beautiful, I like it. I think when you are just starting out, it's not something you need really, unless that's just the personality you want to have in your suit. And ultimately you do want to be mindful, because you want to make sure that your physique in wellness meets the wellness criteria, and sometimes making sure the suit you're choosing helps with that is very key. So you want to be like imbalanced, more developed on the bottom and less developed on the top. A bra top can appear pretty wide, and it could either take away or enhance your physique. So just be mindful of that. That's why really I'll recommend always like your triangle top and then your molded afterwards. So here we have just a classic triangle top. I love going with this option because at first I ordered a molded cup, but I like the fact that on your triangle top, you can slide it to fit and adjust. So you can scrunch it up along the bottom if you need to kind of bring it in and sit on your bust, or expand it just to make sure you have the right amount of coverage. I did a size large in my top, and on show day I was around a 34D, and on before about a 34 double D. I actually lost a lot during my weight loss, but usually that's where I'm sitting. This is an example of like an insert that you can put into your top. This is technically a size too small, but when I put it, I really had it hit right along the baseline just to give me a little extra lift, as I had lost a lot of tissue there. So that's what your girl went with, and I would just recommend it. Keep it basic, keep it standard. It always looks right. This is the first style top that I ordered, which is a molded cup, teeny tiny. And I will say, if you're going for molded cup, you order like true to your size, not thinking about the weight loss. So I really should have done like a large in this, so I had a right amount of coverage. And the thing with the molded top is like more stiff. It's like a molded bra. It has, like, if you can see right here, a little insert so it keeps you pushed up. It helps you not have to go ahead and think about adding the like push-up inserts or anything, so it's all done in one, but it doesn't slide along the bottom. So once this sits here, you have to make sure like the girls sit in and you're not getting any side boob, because that can deem your top as inappropriate. That is why I do and don't like the molded top. I like it that it's all in one. It looks really flattering on, and it gives you that nice support and lift. I don't like it because you can't adjust it to sit in the most flattering position, so when you're on stage, you look your best, period. But to each his own. So let's chat suit bottoms, because this was the real learning curve I had. Your wellness suit, your standard suit, you're gonna have a V bottom, not a scoop like bikini, even though bikini, some of them are getting a little bit closer to the V. We know we love the V cut. So your front is the V, nice and deep. And then you have, like we already talked about, your side connectors. On wellness, you can sometimes see people opt for a fabric side as well. Again, I like these connectors. They're just easy to get on, but you will see that and it's acceptable. And then on the back, you will see your different cuts on your back. On the front, you can opt for a little higher, like a modest one. Like, so let's say you have a C-section or other scarring that you want to cover and whatnot, or you just want to have a little bit more fabric to play with, you can ask for a higher cut front. But the biggest thing you want to pay attention to for sure is the back. This is where it began for me. This is a pro cut back. It is very small. You're gonna see different cuts. I think it's like the micro cheeky, that's what most people call it. The pro cut, which they say this is what most people go with, and I understand that. Then you'll have the Brazilian, which is what I ended up going with. I'm gonna tell you why in just a moment. Then you'll have your moderate cut. And then if they do other cuts, they'll do that, but usually it's more coverage. So like least to most coverage. I know many makers will say everyone goes with the pro back, but you want to be mindful of your glute size and conditioning, because the pro back can start to look like a T-back thong, which definitely OCB is not permitted. NPC, I saw some smaller suits in my show, I'm gonna be honest. You would wanna get with your promoter, always. So regardless, whether it's NPC or OCB, if you're wondering if your suit looks appropriate on you, you can contact your promoter directly, because you do not wanna get there on show day and they're like, well, no, you can't wear that one. I have never personally had my suit checked with my check-in, but it can happen, I've heard of it. This here is the Brazilian cut, so there is more fabric to it, but on me it reads very flattering and not a T-back. So you'll see, and I'll line them up for you. Un momento, por favor. So you can see the difference in the width. It's ever so slightly, but it can make it go from appropriate to inappropriate in like 0.5 seconds. And even for me, I'm nervous because my glutes are just, I have big glutes, and I have to literally glue this right in place, because NPC I didn't have to glue my suit in place, but OCB I definitely had to, because I didn't want to get knocked for my scoring. What I did do with particular, I knew I would need to go to the Brazilian cut after like trying on my first suit. I was like, oh no, this is not right. But I also sent the measurements of what I wanted for my back based on a posing suit I had and kind of where we could go with what I anticipated to lose. So really talk to your suit maker. Do not let anyone consult you and just say, go to a pro cut and whatnot if you are really concerned about that sizing. As you can see, the Brazilian cut gives a little bit more fabric, and by the time you sit everything high on your hip, it will look pretty much the same. So if you're a little bit more on the fence and concerned, I really like a Brazilian cut. But do your research, talk to your suit maker, talk to your coach if they're giving you a lot of input about your suit as well. So you do want to have a little case for your suit just to keep it nice. As you see, there are tons of crystals on it. You want to keep it nice and safe and easy to travel with. I'm gonna let you know something though. This type of case, I've seen people charge $30 on their suit sites for. Buy guard it if you can. If you're really trying to crunch it, if you want to support them, go for it, give them your coin. But this I got for like $15 or less on Amazon. When you get your suit too, they'll send you like extra crystals because again, things happen. It can fall off. You just need a little E6000 glue this and like stick it back on. I keep my crystals, I keep like the extra padding and my suit all together so I'm ready on show day. Before we say goodbye, I just have some overall tips to remember. One is if you invest in a really good suit, it can carry you for multiple shows. I'm getting ready to go into my 3rd show. And 9 times out of 10, my conditioning, everything will hold. This suit will still be perfect for me. If you do happen to change, like let's say maybe you're going smaller as you compete and maybe your top stays the same, you can always get back with your suit maker, have them just remake your bottoms to your new size too. Pay attention when you're ordering to all the measurements you need to give. I would honestly say give more information than less information. If you have a posing suit already and you know kind of the measurements there, you can share that in photos with your suit maker as well so they can just get as accurate as information as they can. It is very stressful to order a suit, I know, because you're waiting weeks on weeks on weeks as your body's changing and go from there. Be sure to share like your most recent progress picture as well. And if they're asking for like your anticipated weight loss, underestimate it. Don't overestimate it. It is easier to take that suit in than it is to let them out. They would pretty much have to remake it with all those crystals on it. And that is usually not covered by the suit maker because that's on you. Just gonna let you know. I have found out the hard way. I know on Instagram you'll see girls competing in multiple shows throughout the year wearing different suits at each of them. These suits can run you anywhere from like your high 300s on a budget to 400, I would consider that budget, into thousands. So you do not need a new suit each show. If you like a lot of variety, and I do too, like I'm on the fence about renting a suit myself, that is another option, renting a suit. Suit makers will offer it. Sometimes there's individuals. There's one person I cannot think of on Instagram, but I will put it down in the description box where they offer suit rentals as well. And she has a lot of inventory on it. Probably like to me, like the best inventory I've seen. So keep that in mind. Back to prices. You can find all sorts of different price points when it comes to suits, from like, I think I've even seen some budget ones like in the high 200s, but by the time you add in all the extras, like you're pushing into the 3s. So you might as well just go ahead and get comfortable if you're going to buy a suit versus renting a suit of saying that it's going to cost you around $400. And if you really want to get extravagant, they go into the thousands. I've seen the prices. So you have to shop around for your budget. Some of the biggest brands on Instagram I see are usually the priciest. My suit maker, I think the prices are very fair and a very easy investment into a great suit. So Ravish Sands made mine, and they actually reached out to me. She found me and I was posting like content of like getting ready for a show and just asked me if I had a suit, and I said yes, but I actually need one that fits. And she did a great job, Jenny, of making my suit. I love it. I felt so confident in it. So I am very confident to refer you to her. You do want to message any suit maker and just see what's the timeline of production as well. It can take anywhere. I've seen quick ship ones from just like 2 weeks up to 6 weeks. So just keep that in mind. I would really start looking at your suit 8 weeks out, making sure you're kind of doing your research, or even earlier, and definitely placing your order by 7 weeks out from your show. That way you can stay in contact with them, update them, and get your suit in time. So if something has to get tweaked, you're not stressing or having to buy another suit on the fly. The cool thing too with Ravish Sands is I'm partnered with them, so you can save some money with the code ANISSAFIT, which I was like, okay, I'm literally just starting out. Thanks for doing this with me. And I'm happy to pass on that savings to you, because as much as I love bodybuilding, girl, it is an investment. But if you do the right investments with the right suit, the right shoes, and getting good stage jewelry, which I'll make topics on all of that, so make sure you subscribe and hang out with me some more, then you're going to be set up for success for a few shows. You can run a good season and go stretch your stuff on stage because you are working real hard. If there's something I didn't cover in this video, or you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I do plan to make actually a separate video because of the context of how to put on your suit. So that will come up next, so stick around for that. Other than that, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for giving me a space to talk about something I truly love, and I hope you found it helpful. I will see you in the next video. Stay strong. I look small. Okay, now we look flexed.